Hello, coolers. Welcome to Viva Barca. Welcome to the home of everything Barcelona, where we are going to be discussing on the latest as usual. In this episode, we are going to be discussing on three stories. We start with Francisco Trincao, as it has been reported that Sporting Lisbon officials will travel to Barcelona to complete deal for the 22-year-old winger. We are going to be discussing on that as we move ahead. Then secondly, talking about former Barcelona forward Alexis Sanchez, as this new report have just emerged claiming that Alexis Sanchez can have talked up a possibility of a Barcelona return. We are going to be looking at that as well. Then thirdly, talking about this Las Palmas sensational midfielder Alberto Moleiro, which Barca have been monitoring all this while to bring him in the near future. It has been reported that La Liga outfit Real Betis are prepared to challenge Barca for the signing of the Las Palmas teenager. We are also going to be looking at that. So guys, as we get right into it, please do ensure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Give the video a like and make sure to watch the video right up to the very end. Barca! 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 Now that it is certain that Francisco Trincao has no place in Xavi's blueprint for the next season, the 22-year-old is on the hunt for a new team, and the club that is most interesting in his acquisition is from his homeland, Sporting Lisbon. Sporting manager Ruben Amorim has already worked with Trincao during the time at Braga, and even the player is interested in returning to where it started. The ongoing negotiations between Barca and Sporting are so advanced that club representatives from the Portuguese side are set to travel to the Catalan capital in the coming days in order to complete the formalities. According to the record, Via Mundo Deportivo has mentioned the team from Portugal want to exercise a loan deal with an option to buy, since they were unable to reach a definitive agreement before. Their representatives are now planning to visit Barcelona to determine Trincao's future. 22-year-old Trincao spent 2021-22 football season on loan with the Premier League side Wolves, making 30 appearances across all competitions while scoring 3 goals. The English team did have an option to buy him for 30 million euros, but they decided against it, thus ending up paying 6 million euros just for the loan deal. In recent weeks, Trincao attracted interest from Sevilla and even Valencia, but as it turns out, Francisco Trincao does not wish to return to La Liga and is hence preferring the move to Portugal instead. For the time being, striking a deal even with Sporting Lisbon could be tricky. It could be a tricky proposition since Barcelona are looking to cool as much as 31 million euros that they paid for his services in 2020. Sporting might not actually agree to pay that kind of fee, given Trincao's 2021-22 season wasn't as fruitful as he would have hoped. But in any way, given the extent of their desire, Barcelona will hope to churn something positive out of that deal. Trincao's time at Barcelona have not been the best at all. We quite remember he left Braga to Barca back in 2020 when Koeman was still in charge. And of course, Koeman didn't fancy the player. Dembele was playing the most minutes. Of course, Barca had to loan him out to Wolverhampton Wanderers the subsequent season, where he really didn't have a great time there. But despite that, clubs from his hometown, Portugal, have been showing interest in him. Sporting Lisbon have been acquiring Barcelona about the possibility of signing him. But talking about a possible transfer is going to be tricky because Barcelona want 31 million euros, which, of course, Sporting Lisbon are feeling reluctant to pay that amount given the fact that Trincao himself was not at his best lately and they don't want to take that risk of paying such an amount for him. So as it stands, a loan deal looks like the only possibility right now. Previously we were talking about some reports claiming that manager Xavi wants Trincao to future with him in pre-season so he can assess the player, he can fully see some of his strengths and some of his weaknesses and assess if there's any small possibility of Francisco Trincao staying at Barca this coming season, having some minutes. But if this report is to be believed, Xavi might not have the chance to be with Trincao in this pre-season tour, given the fact that Sporting Lisbon want to act fast in their move for Francisco Trincao. So from what it has been reported, it's likely to be a loan, a 1-year loan with an option, to buy. So let's see how it goes. Barcelona will be happy to get that deal done as soon as possible. Then on to the next story of discussion. Alexis Sanchez is very occasionally linked with a return to Barcelona, and the rumor mill has churned his name out once again regarding a possible move. Chilean newspaper Le Tercera are carrying quotes from a close friend of Alexis Sanchez, who reckons the 33-year-old has a few options for next season, including a Camp Nou return. Going by his statement, Marseille is one of the options that the player has on the table, but there are others that attract him the most, like Barcelona, said the source. After 30 June, he will make a decision about his future. Alexis Sanchez is expected to move on during the summer, and there have already been a few whispers that he could be an option for Barca. Sport have previously reported that both Alexis and Angel Di Maria have offered to play for the club next season, but neither are a priority. It is thought both are viewed as low-cost, decent short-term options for Barca, would rather sign a player like Rafinha instead. The problem, as we all know, is that Barca might not be able to afford their top choices and so could end up looking for low-cost options instead. It's really interesting to see such rumors, and it's really funny. It looks a type, given as though players in their late 30s are offering themselves to Barca, and Barca, according to Barca, they are in a building process, they are in a transition process. And the funny thing is, Barca might still end up signing them because getting their top targets might not be easy, despite the economic levels that were approved last week. How funny that can be if Barca get these players, Alexis Sanchez, Angel Di Maria, Azpilicueta. I mean, look at the age, 33, 34, 35. And it's going to be funny, very ironical, when you consider the fact that Barca are building a team. They are they are doing an overhaul. And looking at the players that might potentially be Barca players, it makes you think and wonder if actually we are in a building phase as it stands. Alexis Sanchez, this is not the first time we've been talking about this guy. I think last year, there was a period last year that there were strong links of a possible return for Alexis Sanchez. But those links were crushed. Nothing worked out. And here we are again, Sanchez eyeing a possible return. That's interesting. Let's see how Barca take this. Let's see how true this is. Let's see if Barca will act on this interest. And on to the final story of discussion. Las Palmas are rubbing their hands together, according to Dario AS, because they have 18-year-old attacking midfielder Alberto Moleiro on their books, a player who has shown in the Segunda this season and has attracted the interest of Barcelona and Real Betis. The former are keen to repeat the formula that worked so well with them for Pedri Gonzalez. Sign Moreno now, but keep him in the Canary Islands for another season. Betis, however, are scared by what happened with Pedri. They had the opportunity to sign Pedri in the summer of 2019 before Barcelona for 5 million euros. He is now worth 150 million euros, talking about Pedri. Whether Betis want to bring Moleiro to the Benito Villamarín now or wait a season like Barcelona is unknown. Although an immediate pathway into the first team would serve as a competitive advantage, Moleiro, born in Santa Cruz de Tenerife, broke into Las Palmas' first team at the beginning of last season. He played 38 games across all competitions. So guys, with that we have come to an end of this episode. Thanks a lot for watching. Hope you did enjoy the video. Hope you did subscribe. If you haven't, make sure to do so. Until next time, it's bye for now.